Okay, hi everyone, welcome back, and in this update we are going to check out Chainlink's price chart. And if you remember, in the previous video we were around here and the idea was that this can be 5 down into 1 correction for wave 2, and in the short term we may see a continuation of the move down into wave 3, 4, 5. But just to make sure that this scenario is going to play out and we can even get our move down from the current point, you need to have your eyes on that important bullish divergence on H4 time frame in RSI indicator. Let's just bring it up real quick. Where is it? There we go. So we said, look, we are having a low in here and the other ones are lower lows. However, in RSI seems like we are having in here a series of higher lows. So we said this is a bullish divergence, suggesting maybe bears are running out of power. However, the moment that we get a move down, we said maybe even from the current point, in order to get a break of the divergence line, that is going to pretty much confirm that, you know what, we are going to see a continuation of this short-term phase down. So what happened? We didn't break the divergence line, and in fact, I'm gonna say this bullish divergence did the job and sent the price up. But the question is, can this be a bullish sign in Chainlink? The answer is yes. Here is how. You see, if you want to argue that we have hit our final low around here and maybe this is like a very important support, then okay, absolutely fair enough. You need to be able to find off of the lowest low a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to be bullish with a heck of a lot of more confidence. And in terms of the sub waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into wave 1, 3, and 5. Excuse me, let's change the color so you can see this rushes a bit better. And for wave 2 and 4 for our corrective movements, we can have different counts. Let's say ABC into 4 and like a WXY into wave 2. Now let's go on the live chart and see what is going on. And I don't really believe there is any point denying the fact that this is a beautiful looking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave. So the fact that off of the lowest low we are able to find an impulse in Chainlink, in my view, is definitely an optimistic sign. But is it enough to be completely optimistic and call this point our final low with a good degree of certainty? In my view, not yet. Why is that? You see, there is still a chance that in Chainlink we are going to have a correction structure even starting from this point or maybe even from here. And for example, if you want to say our correction started from here, then okay, fair enough. This can be an A, B, and 5 wave up into our C leg, which again, in the C leg of an ABC flat, you are very much allowed to have a 5 wave. So this might fool a lot of people into believing that in Chainlink we are bullish, but maybe we are not. Now, two very important points. Number one, I think this is definitely not going to be a long opportunity. Why is that? Because, question for you, what happens after we complete a 5 wave? You know the answer. We are going to, even according to the most bullish case, get a move on the downside, a deep pullback. Point number two, when we get this move down, I think you need to pay full attention to the shape of that move, because that is going to determine what really is going on in Chainlink, and it's going to tell you what might be in fact the next likely move. Why is that? You see, in case that we see from the highs a very strong 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 without a lot of overlapping of the waves, at that point you need to think more about having in here an ABC flat, suggesting our move down is going to continue. On the other hand though, if we end up having a very slow and choppy move on the downside, which between our pullbacks up, you're going to be able to identify constantly overlapping of the waves, you know what, that can be an optimistic sign, suggesting maybe this is 5 up into 1, correction for 2, and what's next? Good move up into wave 3 and 4 and 5. So as you can see, one way or the other, since according to both of the scenarios, we are probably going to get a move down in the short term, this isn't going to be a long opportunity for you. And also, all eyes on the shape of the coming move down that we are going to get, because the move itself, honestly, it doesn't really matter a whole lot. It's the shape of it that is going to determine what is next. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in Chainlink's chart. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.